The fight for Okinawa, the last major campaign of the war, did not all take place on the island. The United States Navy was under almost constant assault from Japanese naval and air forces for the entirety of the campaign. Japanese, realizing that the war was nearly lost, turned to their most fearsome weapon in their attempts to stop the American advance, the Kamikaze. Thousands of Kamikaze attacks assaulted the American ships in the waters off Okinawa. In the campaign, the U.S. Navy lost more ships and sailors at Okinawa to Kamikazes than it had in the entire 2 years of the war previous. Extreme bravery on the part of the American sailors, especially aboard destroyers and escorts at remote radar picket stations, are what kept the fleet afloat and the invasion ashore progressing towards victory. The plight of the destroyer USS Laffey and her valiant defense against an enormous kamikaze assault is just one of those stories.
Whenever you saw another ship hit by a kamikaze, it was the most frightening thing you ever want to see. Just a huge ball of fire. Then finally, at around 8:15, 8:20, we spotted the first 4 planes coming in. And they came in from, I remember very vividly, from forward of the ship. And then they split up and kind of came in this way. 2 from each, basically 2 from each side. Well, we were ready for them and we shot all of them down. All of a sudden they started to come in about every 2 or 3 minutes, as I recall. They'd just circle overhead. All these planes were circling overhead, and they'd come in 1 or 2 at a time. So we have a ship basically dead in the water that can only go in a circle. The skipper would wait until he saw a plane diving on us. Then he'd go to emergency flank. Well, this Japanese pilot isn't experienced enough to follow the swing of the ship. And every one of them hit after the ship, after the bridge, which I think saved us. I saw this plane coming in, and it had a bomb under its bay. You could see it. And as it approached, it got bigger, and the bomb got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, this guy was coming on us so fast, and I didn't see any action. I didn't see any guns firing at it. And I remember just looking at it, Seth, and saying, I'm going to die. This is it. And I don't know, the last second, number 2 mount swung around. The gun captain must have seen it. He swung around, fired 2 rounds, hit that plane right on the nose, and exploded no more than 50 yards from the ship, if that. I went back there, of course, and I had to visually see what happened. And what had happened, of course, is this, I think it was 2 of them hit back there and wiped out the gun crews, especially the 20 millimeters, which were exposed. And there was 1 man in his straps. I'll never forget it. He had both his legs blown off, and he was crying. He was saying, please get me out of these straps. And before we could get to him, he died. And that bothered the hell out of me. And that was really, that bothered me. Yeah, that was the worst part of the day for me.